regular council meeting of the Village of Armada will now come to order, please. Will everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk, call roll, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Wallach.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Slets.
Here.
Belkey.
Here. Everyone's here. What is the council's wishes as to the approval of the agenda, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support. Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. At this time, the floor is opened up to citizen comments. Anyone who would like to address the council at this time, you have 3 minutes to address the council and state your name for the record first.
You're under presentations, so we have you as an agenda item. Okay.
So you'll be next, most
You'll be
likely.
next.
No citizen comments at this time, so we'll move on and to the presentations. We have a young lady here, which is Ella McIntyre. She's from one of the schools here, I think the middle school, is it? Global impact presentation of our local school district. So you have the floor, Ella.
My project is Clean River Start Here, which is a river cleanup trying to clean up the local creek, Coon Creek. If you have your phone on you, this is a QR code right here. You can scan this, and I can send the link to anyone who wants it. Hi, my name is Ella McIntyre from Armada Middle School. I am planning to do a river cleanup in the local creek, Coon Creek. I am doing all of this for my Global Impact Project at Armada Middle School. My Global Impact Project is helping raise awareness about the concept of water pollution. If I want to get the world to know about pollution, then I have to start somewhere. I chose to start with my own community, Armada. My goal is for this cleanup to become an annual event, continuing to teach kids of all ages about the idea of pollution. Part of this will be videotaped and posted online so people can learn about the concept of pollution. This information will be given to the elementary kids from 2nd to 5th grade next school year to learn about the concept of pollution. I am trying to make people aware of pollution, and I also want people to join me in the act of cleaning the waters of this world. Where will the cleanup be? It'll be right here. I can pass this around.
Hey, Lyle. Yeah. Head down.
Well, we had a boat,
Maybe I'm going to get ahead of you a little bit, Ella, but you're going to plan this when the school starts, or you're going to start in the summer, or?
It's going to be in August or September. In the fall.
Okay.
Does some of this cleanup include getting some of the logs and stuff out, or are you just looking for litter, tires, and cans and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So pollution, not natural, not natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also planning to have the National Junior Honor Society help out and the Go Green Club.
Good job. Good. That's awesome.
So you had your work cut out for you
Mm-hmm.
already.
Looks like
I'm going to be, like, I'm in National Junior Honor Society, so I'd basically be running the thing
Yeah,
with National Junior Honor Society.
that's excellent.
So are you gonna get right down in the water? Are you gonna have waders on, or are you just gonna walk the shoreline?
We're basically going to walk the shoreline, but if you want to get in the water to get the stuff in there, you can.
Okay.
It's also recommended for kids that are ages 10 and under to wear life jackets.
Yes,
very good.
very good. There are some spots of that creek that are deep.
And it's moving along pretty good right now, too.
Well, right now it's all pretty high,
Yeah.
yeah.
So all of this looks like it's from the north part of the village down to about the village center, is that, okay? You're gonna think about doing the south side at some point?
Yeah, at some point, probably.
Okay.
Well, if you can get this annually, that's great.
It's really nice, very nice.
Thank you. Why is there a cleanup? This cleanup is taking place because not only do I want to make our community more enjoyable, I want to educate the citizens of Armada about pollution. If all the citizens know what pollution is and how it can affect our community and the world, then I feel as if they will put more effort into their everyday life. What I mean by this is that they will care a bit more about the earth and maybe make better choices when it comes to the earth. This could be as simple as not tossing a bottle out of the window of your car, or as impactful as starting a recycling program in their community. The purpose of the Clean River Start Here River Cleanup is to make the community a better place and to educate others on the concept of pollution. What will be at the cleanup? I envision that there is going to be a stand raising money to donate to Clean Water Action, an organization that helps clean bodies of water worldwide. There is also going to be shirts being sold that have Clean River Start Here printed on the front. These shirts will be sold for $15 and my goal is $300 from these shirts. This money will also be donated either to the next cleanup I have, if that is possible, or the Clean Water Action organization talked about before. I will hopefully meet or exceed that goal. A table will hold all the materials for cleaning the river, plastic bags and heavy-duty nets, and even if it is possible that there will be too many volunteers and not enough tools, they are encouraged to bring their own. I contacted you, the Armada Village, because I am cleaning up a river in Armada. I need permission to do the cleanup, and I also need permission to set up in a certain spot. This spot will be the town park across from Carolyn's Cabinets on Prospect and North Avenue. I also contacted you because I know that you run community events like parades and other things, and this would be considered a community event. This event could also be supervised by members of the Armada Village. How the information will spread. Flyers will be posted in all shops in town after permission has been asked. More flyers will also be posted in shops near town, such as Blake's, Amvet's, and Kraus veterinary offices. If possible, flyers will be posted in nearby places like Memphis, Richmond, Burble, and Romeo. This flyer can also be posted on social media to help spread the word even more. Here's a link to my flyer. I guess the internet's not working or something.
That's all right.
Who will be involved? Volunteers will make up the most of this program. It is heavily dependent on the help of the citizens of Armada. If we don't get a high volunteer turnout, then the creek could not be as clean as it could possibly be. There will also be student volunteers from National Junior Honor Society. National Junior Honor Society is a program that has people or students with a GPA of 3.6 or higher help out in the school and do volunteer work. I am a part of this program, and so are many other responsible students who would be happy to help out. I will also have responsible adults handling the money and helping younger children who do smaller jobs, such as holding plastic bags or working on the shores. There are some rules and regulations of this cleanup though. Here are the main rules. 1. No horseplay or rough play. 2. It is recommended for children aged 10 and under to wear a life jacket. 3. Stick with the group at all times. 4. No damaging others' property while doing this cleanup. My plans for the future. I hope that I will be able to partner with the Michigan DNR to do pollution awareness presentations at campgrounds. I will also do beach cleanups and even more river cleanups at these campgrounds. My hope for the future is that this simple local river cleanup will turn into a statewide organization that teaches the state about the dangers of pollution. It also will not only make our citizens' lives here more enjoyable, but it will make their kids' and grandkids' lives better, too. I hope to lead our community into the act of bringing this world to be the best of what we can make it. Other places are already working to make our community a better place. Why can't we?
Very nice.
Very
Good job.
Good.
Good job. So when you have a date for that, can you let us know?
Okay.
So we can announce it. We'll announce, if you know, as soon as you know the date, we can announce it at all the meetings. And, you know, hopefully get some other people, because this goes on YouTube, so, I mean, people will be able to see it. So, that's awesome.
Good, you got, we should probably have a copy of your presentation, or,
I
Yeah.
can send the link.
Could you, yeah, all right, yeah.
I'll shoot their email.
Yeah, you could do it through it. Here, you know what? Here, I'll give you mine.
Do you know what you're gonna do with the stuff you do take out of the creek and collect? Do you know where that's gonna go, or?
We're probably just going to throw it away and recycle the cans.
Okay.
Because you should get quite a bit of metal out of that creek. I don't know, we did that, how many years ago was that, Dave?
I don't know, we did walk it and do it.
Yeah.
And
And,
Lyle got a group of us to do it.
I got the Boy Scouts. We even had our
Here you go.
state representative out there.
That's
walking in
my
the
email.
creek.
So, okay,
So,
so just send that in.
Ellen, I volunteer. I've got a tractor with a bucket, so I can help moving trash around, and I'm the water commissioner, so
There you go, you got your first volunteer, that's awesome. And as for getting permission to be in the park, as long as we know the date and it's not already booked for something, I know we have a church service that's coming there, and I think maybe it's this weekend. Usually that's wide open, so you won't need any special permission for that,
Okay.
that's just something and as long as we know about it, you're fine. Be aware though that some of the creek there may go through private properties.
Mhm.
You know, you might wanna, I'm not sure, I think the only one that does is, that first house there, if you're going from here to, up. But you might wanna make sure that the homeowners know what you're doing.
it could be, that could fall into the navigable stream.
There might be an easement, like an easement on it.
Well, no, you have the Navigable Stream Act that states that as long as you're in the water, you can walk in the water.
Well, you got, some of those spots are pretty deep, I don't know that they should be walking in.
Well, or the
Be
floodplain,
the shore is what you had said, Al.
or the
Yeah.
floodplain,
I
so.
think you could easily come in and look at the map up here and decide what houses are there.
Sure.
Maybe, these
We
guys
can
can
help
give you
you with
the
that.
addresses and you can,
Send out a
Talk to
letter,
her,
just
yeah.
so they know that you're gonna do it.
Those-
I don't think anybody's going to care, as
Yeah.
long as you're, not damaging their property and just cleaning it up, I don't know how
I
they
think
could
they'd
care.
be happy.
Yeah.
Happy to have you
Yeah.
come through.
So,
Maybe we can get this in the record, or maybe a local paper would help.
they watch the video, so hopefully, but I'll call them and tell them, make sure that they do it, maybe they can contact them somehow.
I think you have the full support of council. I
Yeah.
can't speak for the whole council, but
Yeah,
speak for me.
And just a side note, which really doesn't have much to do with your project, but might be part of your interest. We could arrange to have you have a tour of our sewage plant. How they treat this so that when the water goes back into the creek, that it's,
cleaner than the water that's in there.
actually, it's cleaner than what went in.
Yeah,
So,
So-
you'd like to do that sometime.
yeah,
Okay.
Arrange that.
sure. But,
Ella, are you gonna start up your center road then, is that it?
We're actually going to we're starting at the park because that's where the meeting place is. And then we're ending at the school.
okay, so
Okay,
you're
so
gonna
you
go
go
up this way,
the road.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, because I own
We're
the
gonna go
property,
against the water flow.
I own the property on the bridge there, at Center Road. So you don't have to have no permission from me.
right.
I can give you that right now. And you're gonna find that's a long stretch.
Yeah, yeah, yep, but, okay, well, that's great, thank you for coming.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, well, good
Thank
luck,
you.
good luck with
Very good
that.
presentation.
Yeah.
If you don't wanna stay for our whole meeting, you don't have to.
You don't have to, or you
But
can.
you're welcome, okay?
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
You have a good start.
Yep.
Next is our administrative reports. Steve, EFD report.
Scott can't make it tonight, he's got some seminar that he's doing. We have his report for us here. I was hoping to get recommendation from what ovens he wanted. He's got a couple of them here, and I don't want to speak out of turn here to see what they actually need, so I'll have that on the agenda for the next time. Things are working good down there. I took the fair agreement from the village and the sewage to the fair board. I dropped it off, waiting to have a signed copy brought back. Work little bit of work started back on the Colonial Lift Station. We had the demo work on the 15th. 17th, they were supposed to start. There was nobody there. Made some phone calls, found out they were waiting for the hatch to come in. So they gave us a bad date. It's 1 or 2 weeks behind. So that part of the sidewalk is cordoned off. It's flagged. I have spoken to the homeowner a couple times. I've kept her appraised of the new proposed schedule, so she kind of knows what's going on. So I would think maybe next week things should happen, but they're going to let us know. And other than that, I think that's about all I got, unless anybody's got any questions.
Okay, thanks. All any questions?
Steve, when is the maintenance contract up, what month?
I am not sure, I'll have to check on that.
July. It's coming up pretty quick.
What did you ask about, what month?
What month is the contract up? Because it's showing here, they expended 83% of the maintenance cap of the contract. So that's
So you
why-
need a contract year, the
Yeah,
whole contract, okay.
Yeah, that's there. I don't know if they've still got another year or two on the agreement as it stands right now or not, I'm not
I had to
sure.
pull it out, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I'll check on that.
Okay, next is the treasurer's report. Joe, do you have,
What you already have, with all the funds from the account.
that's in the packet then?
Yep.
Okay, any liaison reports?
I've got a couple, Mr. President.
Go
As
ahead.
Sesquicentennial Coordinator, we did meet on 12 June. We had approximately 16 people here, so that's a great start. We've got another meeting on Wednesday, the 26th. We'll have some additional people show up. I think planning is starting to move along. We're forming the essence of what really the two-day event is going to be. I did have a sit-down with the Fair Board Secretary, and I'm going to address the Fair Board on the 1st of July about their participation. Their sesquicentennial is coming up in 3 years, so they're very interested in this one and in supporting this one, and then obviously they're going to ask for our support in 3 years for theirs. But I think we're off to a great start. Got a lot of people going in, and it sounds very exciting so far. I'm going to hold off on telling you all of what's going to happen until we firm it up a little bit more. But that should be within the next meeting or two. As Water Commissioner, we did, I think I mentioned last time, we received word that the water filtration media that we currently have in the filtration plant is going to be made again. We were concerned earlier in the year that it was not going to be made, and we were going to have to buy a different type of media, perhaps at double the cost, and do some engineering changes at the filtration plant. Looks like they're going to make under a different name, probably going to be a little bit more money, not sure, but make under a different name the same media that we currently have in the treatment plant, so that's great. That allows me to continue to move forward on two particular items that we had started to work and then we shelved, and one is to work with the company on swapping out media in 2 of our 4 vessels, right? So that's one of our budget priorities for the water department, and the other is to do the arsenic containment study. Knowing now that they're not going to affect the plant allows us to move forward with that study. So I'm probably going to bring that piece to the next meeting and get your approval to move forward with it.
So when you're saying that it may cost a little bit more than our original cost, or the latest cost
I
that they
think
gave us?
perhaps a little bit more than what we budgeted for doing 2 of the systems. I think it was $250,000 to do 2 of the vessels rather than all 4. But I don't really know. I mean, I'm just assuming that if another company is going to make it, and they're going to change the
That
name.
same media, that was the reason that we went with that in the first place, because it was the cheapest of the medias that were
Right,
offered
well,
to
and it
us.
works,
So now,
it works with the way the plant was designed. And so we really would like to try to use the same kind of media.
I'd like to see the same price again.
I would too. We're gonna certainly work that.
Or
I
close
wanna
to it.
try to get this, yeah, I want to get the biggest bang out of the money we have in the water department, as you do. I think we don't quite know yet, but the good news is that that same kind of media is going to be made but it's, what, 10, 15 years later now, and so I assume there's gonna be somewhat of a markup. We're hoping not a lot, so we just don't know, but,
That's a big difference from 25,250,000.
yeah, I'm not sure what the original was, but,
25,000.
yeah, no, I think we had budgeted, in fact, I don't even remember what we budgeted at this point. I have to go back and take a look, but,
No, back then,
Yeah.
when we had to put in it.
well, this is complete, and it might have been, should have looked at that today too, because I had that priority sheet up. I'm gonna stop talking about the money because I'm not quite sure, but I would expect that it's gonna cost a little bit more today to replace the media than what it cost originally. But as I say, the good news is that they are gonna remanufacture that media, and
So we don't have to change everything.
we don't have to change a bunch of things that we had been told that we were likely going to have to do. And again, those unknowns caused us to sideline the arsenic treatment study, arsenic containment study because of those unknowns. And so we can start moving forward on that again. So,
Is there any discussion with other communities? We were all forced into this by the government. This was not a voluntary program.
right.
Mandate.
I've not talked to any other communities, but the Sunshine Water Treatment Company that we have used in the past has talked to other communities. They felt that there's a number of other communities that also have used this media, and their wear-out dates for their media precedes ours. And so they said that, as they understand it, talking with these communities, they're also very upset by the fact that they were potentially having to go to a different kind of media and do re-engineering studies as well. We've not brought it to Eagle or MDEQ right at this point, but that was in our back pocket that we could bring it to them because of that fact. We were essentially told that we needed to go to this, and we procured that media.
Now, what about the possibility of any kind of government assistance? I mean, they're pushing you into the water, the sewer program. They pushed us into this.
I can certainly check. I would think they would say no, given that unless they supported this the first time around.
We didn't pay 200,000 for the first time before.
Yeah. Well, like I say, don't quote me on the price. I'm trying to remember back what was in our priority project list and what the costs were, and I don't know if that's the right number, so I'm gonna not talk dollars anymore.
Well, let's stay on top of that and see where,
Yeah, yeah,
or get
but,
a feel for how that goes, because we can reevaluate.
Well, Ed gave us that number a long time ago, so I mean, it's not just from you.
Been a couple of years since that, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I've got the paperwork, I have to look at it. The real message is we're gonna reproduce that media, so that's the good news. And because of that, we can start to move
Is
forward.
it
on
a
some of
powder,
these
a sand, or what is it?
I'm not sure.
I think it's granule.
Some kind of
Like a giant
charcoal
pool
type-
filter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's granule.
And the other thing I wanted to mention is we did conduct a hydrant test. This is part of the water reliability study that's currently ongoing, and that worked out very well. We didn't have any complaints or concerns that came up as a result of that, and so we continue to work different
We
aspects
had
of
a
the
couple
study.
of
We had
problems.
some.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yes, we did
Okay, can you pass them to me, because nobody's told me that we had any,
Yeah, we did.
any concerns.
Yeah, but the DPW went, the one in particular, they went and talked to her, so.
And the flooding their yard or something like that?
No, rusty water has been mostly the
Brown and
sediment getting into their pipes. So,
In their pipes versus coming out of the hydrants, because this was a hydrant test.
yeah, when they flush the hydrants,
Oh, they get it back?
yeah,
backflow?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
But, I mean, we didn't have many complaints, but we did have more
Okay.
than one.
I noticed the rust up at my end lasted longer than it has in the past. But,
We,
you know, it hasn't been done so since last year, most likely. So I think that's part of it, Ross, you know.
Yeah,
so-
no, I would imagine.
Well, we have rusty water in the toilet here, but not coming out of the sinks. It's like, okay, somebody explain.
Okay.
We don't know how that
Yeah,
happened.
please pass them on to me. I had not heard that we had
Yeah.
any issues, so.
Yeah. I mean, they were issues, we had,
Concerns they
we had
could ask.
concerns, yeah, which the DPW took care of, so.
Okay.
Don't they do that anyway, annual basis? Back and forth,
Well, I think I've done it a couple times a year, actually.
Yeah, I think on the dead
You know,
end lines, they
In the
make a
spring,
point of
in
doing
the
that.
spring and then in the fall, before winter sets in. You know, so I believe that's the way it was, you know, so.
Right.
Lyle, you recall?
I really
Yeah.
couldn't say.
I think that's what it was, or Steve?
Well, I know they flush them a couple different times, but
Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
especially the dead end lines where the water's not looping through.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so, but like I said, has lasted a little longer this time. So, but like Michelle said too, our faucets seem to be clearer than the, you know, toilet.
Well, in here, it was just weird, because I thought, how can that be? So, Ed couldn't answer it either, it was just
I
kind of
didn't
a
notice
running
anything,
joke.
but then I'm on the, the.
I didn't notice anything at
We
my
didn't, I
house.
don't think we were affected.
Yeah, I didn't notice
Probably
anything at my house.
the northwest quadrant out here and
Yeah,
maybe the northeast.
Yeah.
So.
but
Okay, we got
just take
about-
care of, okay.
Next is the consent agenda. What is the approval of the regular council meeting minutes of June 10th and payment of bills, special event permit application for Armada Schools, a homecoming parade.
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support. Second.
Was that you, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Old business and sewer plan update.
I've got one quick thing I neglected to talk about. Scott came into work, it was a week and a half ago, nothing was running, the whole PLC board was down. They tracked it down to the pump number 2, down on the SDR. They had Kennedy Industries come in, under the disconnect box, got some bad contacts in there, and they bypassed things, and then they're getting some new parts to take care of it. But Scott said the box was actually smoking when he went downstairs. So the pump seems fine, it was just in the disconnect box there for that. So that's gonna be worked on. It's got, like I said, it's got a temporary fix on it now, and they'll be back to, and they may have already done that. I haven't talked to Scott in the last couple of days. So. Okay, that's all.
Thank you. Next is the West Main Street update. This is Mr. Ballard's department as a street administrator, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, we've had some bad weather again, as usual, and we've had a work stoppage down there due to some weather and some other issues. Gus from Spalding Decker is taking care of that for us, check into why the work is stopped. I talked with him today, this afternoon, and other than that, the original date is not going to be met by 7/1, so because they're supposed to have curb in 6/20 to 6/23, and then HMA asphalt was supposed to be like next week, so we're going to be holding up on that. There has been some rumors coming out that people have talked to the township about this project. And ladies and gentlemen, this project is a village project. The township has nothing to do with this project. If you have any questions, call the office here at 586-784 9151. 9151. They will get you in touch with the right person, who's usually me, that can answer your questions. We have had some concerns about parking during the paving, And the Spalding B. Decker and Superior Contracting is going to put out a letter stating the days that the street will be closed, and that people should have their parking off on some side streets over there, such as Teach Street, Simon Street, or even the Lutheran Church has graciously let us use their parking lot over there. So other than that, that's all I have, Mr. President.
Go ahead and find Mr. Ballard, thank you kindly.
Just one more thing though, we did have a resident that came in this morning and said that the contractors have been very, very accommodating.
Yeah,
Yes.
she
As
did.
far as
She
getting
couldn't
in and
say.
out of block traffic and to and from their homes.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
that was Ann Miller.
Yeah.
I think that it helps that she always bakes some brownies or something. I
That
don't
that helps a
know.
little bit, but no, she said that they've been
no,
very.
she had nothing but wonderful
Yes,
things
she
to
did.
say.
You got a good group of guys out there.
One other question that you probably don't wanna hear,
Oh,
wow.
that's okay.
Do we have any kind of timeline as of, update as of right now?
No, there is not.
You know, like
Because,
7/15 for the entire project?
no, we don't have that.
Paving?
Well, like I say, paving was supposed to begin later this week, and the curb was supposed to be put in on 6/20 to 6/23. And sidewalks and drives go after the paving, and the HMA was supposed to start on the 26th and set until 7/1, because it has to have time to cure. But other than that, that's the only dates that I have at this time.
If you get any, if you
Yep.
could get that out.
I'll get it out to the,
I get asked on that a lot.
Yeah.
tell them it'll be done when it's done.
I know, but they're tired of that answer.
Don't call me!
I've been telling them that since what, last September,
It'll be
October?
wonderful when it's done.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a hard spring, with this rain and that, our weather, to do things, and even in our own yards. I mean, it's hard to cut some of our properties, with the grass and that too. Some of the people they've told have been getting stuck in their backyards with their lawnmower tractors or whatever. And I think that has contributed a lot to our project. So,
It sure is.
I think they'll move, I think, just as soon, because Mr. Beller did contact me, also about the information today too. We will move on now to the LED lighting project update. Michelle, you have talked with or you got an email from the last lady.
Yeah, Amresto.
Yeah.
So what was in your packet is just her response. There's a lot of work that has to go in the front end of this. I think council really needs to take a look at the budget and take a look at what types of projects you'd like to see arise from these savings. But, if I look at the way I look at the budget right now, I don't know that we can afford this at this time.
We don't have the upfront money.
Well, and even once you have them in and they look at your building, because it's gonna be, you gotta look at the buildings, you gotta look at all the hardware that would involve Ed and I, they gotta look at our bills, which involve Becky, they wanna look at the budget, involves Joe. There's a lot of people that have to commit to this. I would really hate to do all of that work, and especially waste Krista's time, if at the end we're like, the savings aren't gonna they're not going to compare to what projects we wanna do. It would be my suggestion at this time that we just put it on a burner. We're not going to eliminate it, but I just don't want to see a whole lot of time invested in it and then at the end say thank you for coming out and doing all that work, but we're not financially ready to do it.
There are potentially lower priced options for just energy audits.
Well, we could, all right, if you're gonna go to LED lighting, I don't know anything about electricity, I'm not gonna pretend to, but I believe that it's not as simple as just changing the bulbs, isn't it? You would probably know. Is it changing ballasts and stuff like that? That might be something that we could consider. I don't know off the top of my head what our electric bills are a year.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
it's just to rack and stack that stuff, so you got an idea of what you're paying a year at the DPW building, or at my water treatment
Sure.
plant, or whatever, I don't, you know. And I could do that actually for my stuff, I can accumulate those
Right.
bills.
I mean, we could do a lot of the work. However, you know, once you get into a contract with a company,
Right.
you're locking into some kind of agreement of, okay, we're gonna save this money, so all the savings, then we're going to do a roof in 10 years. You know, I mean, I don't know that any of us are prepared to do that. I know I'm not prepared to do that.
Right, that's the part I wouldn't necessarily want to do now.
Right.
But, again, just conduct an energy audit and see what you're paying per year for different
Sure.
structures and.
Well, and that, yes, I mean, we could do that by pulling the bills. I mean, we could do
Yeah,
it, that's
it's
easy
perfect.
enough.
That's an in-house.
That's an in-house thing. And I just, like I said, I mean, Krista's been more than accommodating. She's been wonderful to work with. I just don't know that we're ready at this
For a
point. We
longer
just
term.
got so many things coming
Well,
up.
there's upfront money we would have to pay.
Right. And I don't-
That's what I'm not comfortable.
No,
with.
we've
It's
got
like two
enough
options
stuff
that
going
we
on.
have. You know, where they own all the
I think this
fixtures,
goes on the
everything we've
far
got on
back
our plate.
burner, or at least,
Well, and
Down
again,
the road,
right.
if things got a little tight, you know, they own the fixtures, and if we can't commit to fulfilling the contract, they come take all your light.
No, they don't. Amoresco doesn't. The
No,
first
that's the
one,
first
one.
yeah, the first
First
one
one.
did that. No, I just, like I said, I mean, I don't want to say that we're uninterested in doing this. It's just right now, I just don't know.
We should table it.
I think it should be tabled for now.
we haven't run with it, nobody's run with it.
Well, at least let her know that we're kind of putting on.
I will. Oh, no, I will. She's
not
been,
thinking we might still talk.
yeah, she's been fantastic. Actually, I think she watches the meetings. She pulls them up, so.
Well, I talked to Joe myself as our treasurer, in other words, and I do agree with Joe too. We have other projects we need to do. And I think more important to me personally, and I think probably you council members would also be, you know, we have some of these local streets. I think they're more important than changing a light bulb or spending some money there. Because I do think that there's going to be some initial cost.
Yeah.
And I don't think we can afford it. So I would recommend that we totally table it, whether it's next year or whatever, you know, in the next budget year or next 2 years.
Right. Well, I'll bring her back then to do the analysis. Like I said, I just didn't want to, I don't want to waste her time. I don't want to bring her out and say, oh, well, you know, it's not going to work this
You
year.
could just
so-
tell her we're not ready.
Yeah,
I just think we should move on right now.
okay, all right. I will tell her.
Next is the tax rate for 2019 and the warrants. Treasurer Joe?
Okay, we do this every year. We have to collect taxes every year. So for the 2019 tax rate and the warrants that apply to the collection and producing of these rates is all in front of you. So same as every year. If someone wants to make the motion.
So Joe, you added the two, the PA 33 and then the sign that was the.
Those are just, they're part, you have
Oh,
just
it was
two?
double sided.
Yeah, it was double-sided,
Yeah,
This
that's
is
what I added.
Okay,
but I thought it was for David.
all right.
Good job.
I like it when we get page 1, 3, 5, and 7.
Yeah, I know,
We get
it's
to-
really,
we
it's
get to be
really easy to
creative.
understand.
Yeah, makes sense, we get to be creative.
So what is the council's wishes, please?
I need someone to adopt the millage rate to start out with.
The President was also approved the millage rate to be levied by the treasurer for tax year 2019 for operating the general fund to be levied at a reduced rate of 9.0461 mils in compliance with the Headley 2019 reduction factor of 0.9951, section MCL 211.34D.
Support.
Belkey?
Ross?
Yeah.
Okay, just one thing, as you're reading, I noticed, if you're looking off of the chart. Okay, you've been reading off the motion, so if you keep them, I don't know if you do or you don't. But the line that says rate of 9.0461 mils in compliance with the Headley. It
Yeah.
says 2018.
2018.
Should say
Yeah, it does.
2018.
2019, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yours is wrong this time, usually it's mine that's
Yeah,
wrong.
Okay? Yeah, call roll, because this is mine.
Ballard,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
hold on a second, I gotta figure out what I'm doing this. Alright, so Ballard, Belkey, Sleds,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cronin,
Yes.
Bullock.
Yes. Motion carried. All right, next is the municipal fund, Joe. Do you have any comments on that one?
No, we just reduced it by the Headley factor. We do every year, it always goes back.
I would make a motion to approve the millage rate to be levied by the treasurer for tax year 2019 for operating the municipal street fund. Be levied at the reduced rate of 3.6182 mils in compliance with the Headley 2019,
Oh, I missed that one.
Got you anyway.
2019 reduction
Oh, yeah.
factor of 0.9951 of section MCL 211.34D.
Support.
Moved and supported by Belkey, Ballard.
And the last one.
Don't forget, Paul.
Don't forget.
I did it
Second.
all.
Just a
I'd
second.
like to have a discussion on that, please.
Yes, Mr. Ballard.
We have reduced our municipal street fund every year, haven't we, Joe?
For probably the last 40 years.
Last 40 years. When can we stop doing this, or how do we stop doing that?
We have to hold a truth and taxation hearing, and you can do it any year. That's what I tell you guys at budget time. If you want to increase any of it, you have to let me know prior to budget time, because we have to set that up and have our referendum time.
I'm letting you know right now, I want to do that, because with the street funding going backwards all the time,
Yeah.
you're never gonna repair any roads in this town.
Exactly.
Right. Well, and it goes down every year,
I
so
know it
every year's
does.
compounded, just like the general fund
Right.
goes down every year.
And Joe, you mentioned something to me today there. You said there's probably going to be a decline in some of the,
We already just, I seen it online this morning that there's another decrease in constitutional tax, so it's gonna be another cut in that, so. It doesn't say how much, but every little bit hurts.
so they're all hurting, they all want to get their jobs done first, and then we're holding the bag. So which stands to reason they've done it in the past. History repeats history, and we don't like it.
We need a vote in this motion.
Yes, right. Okay, roll call, yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Bullock,
Yes.
Cronin,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Sleds.
Yes.
I got it.
Okay, motion carried. Next is the,
This is PA 33.
Yeah.
And this one is not affected by a Headley reduction strategy.
But it was our
What
new
was
number
this
that we did came up with.
That was
was
separate,
number that
because
was
that's
budgeted
the other
in
two
the-
motions that need to happen.
Oh,
So Chris will
awesome.
probably do that.
Yep, I already.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
All right. Mr. President, I so move to approve the millage rate to be levied by the treasurer for tax year 2019 for operating the general fund be levied at the reduced rate of
No,
2.7500.
that's just at the regular rate, at the rate, it's not a reduced, well,
Huh?
I take that back, it is reduced from
It is
last year.
reduced, because it was
Not
3
reduced
point,
by
it's not
half.
got reduced by the
Reduced
Headley.
it,
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
They
but
reduced
You're right.
it. You're right.
Support.
By Shaw. Any further discussion? If not, roll call please.
Sleds,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Cronin,
Yes.
Bullock.
Yes. Motion carried.
And the last one is just.
There's one more.
Yes, this will be authorize the clerk, president, and treasurer to sign all warrant and forms related to the 2019 roll, tax roll. So what is council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. President, I'll resolve with, wait a minute, no, here it is. To authorize the clerk, president, and treasurer to sign all warrants and forms related to 2019 tax roll.
Support. By Belkey.
Okay, and those warrants are the real property tax for 2019, the personal property tax for 2019, and the DDA roll for 2019. Those are the 3 warrants that you just approved.
All right, any further discussion? If not, have a roll call, please.
Baylor?
Yes.
Belkey?
Yes.
Wolock?
Yes.
Sletz?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Cronin?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
And then last, Form L4029 rate request is what we turn into the county certifying that these are the rates that we have levied.
That doesn't fall under this one. Warrants and forms.
I would do this in separate, it's a different motion. You have it.
I don't have a motion.
Oh.
Didn't have it prepared.
No, I don't have a
So
motion.
if someone will make a motion to have the clerk and the president sign Form L4029 for the County Board of Commissioners to accept this
Hold on,
millage.
L429 for
L-4029.
the county
Macomb County Board of Commissioners stating
board.
that we will be levying the taxes presented,
Stating we will
levy the taxes as presented and approved
taxes.
on
Oh, for crying out loud. The taxes as approved.
on the 2019 taxable value of all property in this unit.
I can't write that fast. I don't know. Do you have that written anywhere? Is that typed up here?
Taxable value of all property in this unit.
All right, so have the clerk and president sign the L4029 for Macomb County Board of Commissioners stating we will levy the taxes as approved
Against the taxable value of 43 million.
against, we've never done this before, taxable value
Make your motion for that.
and value of, this amount?
Yep.
756.
756.
Yep.
All right, so the motion is to have the clerk and president sign the L429 for the Macomb County Board of Commissioners stating the village will levy the taxes as approved against a taxable value of $4,121,756.
Also,
President, I so move.
go ahead.
So that'll be,
Okay, Belkey,
I'll support.
Ballard. Any further discussion?
you want to roll in there?
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Baylor,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Sletz,
Yes.
Cronin,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Wolock.
Yes, motion carried. You want me to sign this one now?
Well, yeah, we'll have to sign them.
Yeah,
There's
I'll
more
need
than
two
just
originals,
that.
so we
Yeah.
can sign.
Oh, okay. Next is the, my sheet.
The planning commission.
Yeah, I lost my
Planning or
sheet, I'm
ZBA.
sorry. Sheet. Yeah, okay, this is the planning commission appointment. We have had a request by letter submitted to the offices, and this would be Kevin Grant for the opening position that we have on the planning commission, and,
Or ZBA.
No.
no,
Yeah.
no talking. I'm talking. So we have a prepared, excuse me, motion here for the planning commission to appoint Kevin Grant, which is my recommendation that, in fact, that's the only one we've had in a long time, so what is council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'll Resolved to comply with the President's recommendation to appoint Kevin Graham to the Planning Commission to a term ending November 19th, 2021, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the General Law Village Act.
Support.
By Ballard. Any further discussion?
I just wanted to chime in quick to go to what you were saying. When Mr. Grant put in his request, he requested either the planning commission or the zoning board of appeals. We found the act that states that you can't serve on both.
One or the other.
One or the other. We already have somebody in that position, which I explained to Mr. Grant in an email.
Yeah.
He sent me an email requesting just to be put on in the planning commission.
Yeah.
That's the one that's the shortest right now, so that
No,
makes the
I
most
would
sense.
support that. I
Yeah.
think that's the, you're over there somewhere, Kevin.
Yeah.
I think you would be much more useful there on that body.
I just wanted to explain how that all came about, so
Right.
it was,
Right.
he made the choice.
I have no objection to that. I mean, that's the right thing to do.
Okay.
Very good. Anyone else? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Welcome, Mr. Grant.
Congratulations.
You'll have to come into the village office so you can get sworn in
Okay,
before the first meeting.
okay.
Welcome to our nightmare.
I don't think there is,
She didn't say swear at, she said.
yeah,
Can I park my truck in the lot?
Oh, sure.
sure.
You haven't seen my truck.
That's okay, we don't.
Not that truck. You're talking about the big one, right?
Yeah, that truck.
No, you can't do that.
Okay, so now we're in just a
Wouldn't
public
fit.
hearing. I can-
Oh, you'd be surprised what I could do with that truck.
Oh, I'm sure. Congratulations, I think you'll be, I think you'll enjoy it. It's a great experience. It's a great experience.
Thank you very much.
Please bear with me, I probably put the sheet here in the wrong place.
Fireworks.
Here you go.
You wanted on the fireworks?
Fireworks. That's next.
Yeah,
I think you're looking for this sheet up here.
yeah, I got the
Yeah,
edge.
okay, all right, well, this is fine. You're welcome to. Use it.
Yeah, okay, I think I have that. Here, you can have this one back. Be accused of stealing.
Nope, I don't need that, I got mine.
That was
That's
Dave's.
yours.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
mine.
Dave's.
It's yours, one.
I got it. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go with the, many sheets.
Yeah, that's still.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next is the,
It's to set the public hearing.
set the public hearing on the proposed ordinance amending the village code of ordinances to provide for local regulations of fireworks consistent with the State of Michigan Fireworks Safety Act as amended. So the state has changed this, and so the chief wants to go with that. Did you talk to the chief also, Chris?
Oh, yes.
You have any questions or?
No, it's, you know, again, the idea was to be considered, and then where did we want to then, if there were gonna be, and as Jeff brought up at the last meeting, would there be anything else we wanna modify to make more restrictive at that point, but, so, and I think the time, there was the only thing that came up with potentially the times, but the times in here don't seem to be, overly free, so.
Right.
Okay.
And then the bottom line was the thing about this, and Jeff put it in, and that I didn't pick this up until the chief mentioned it. Local control means Jeff can be, if there is an issue, we have Jeff to be the attorney for, and it stays here locally. If we go to the state with if we did not do this ordinance, then it would be a state attorney, and wherever the court would not be within our control at all at that point.
Right, we wouldn't get any part of the fines in there.
Correct.
All right, so what is the council's wishes on this, please?
Mr. President, I move to set a public hearing on Monday, July 8th, 2019, at 7 o'clock p.m. on a proposed ordinance amending the Village Code of Ordinances to provide for local regulations of fireworks consistent with the state of Michigan's Fireworks Safety Act, as amended, and authorize the village clerk to publish notice of the public hearing in the official newspaper.
Support. Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Were you giving that support? It said it in stereo.
Well,
Right?
yeah, Mr. Ballard always speaks up, real fast. So
Miles is closer.
Yeah, he is.
he wants to go home, so I don't blame him. All right, so, yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. The next is the village office, police department carpet cleaning quote. Our carpet has been really in need of some tender care. And so I did talk with Michelle on this and told her to see what she could do to get the price on cleaning our offices. So she did get a price here for $340 to steam clean our whole offices, which would be the police meeting room and our clerk's offices.
And 3 mats.
Yeah. So, okay, so that information you have, what is your wishes?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to accept the quote from Pete Austin Floor Maintenance and Carpet Cleaning Incorporated in the not-to-exceed amount of $340 to steam clean the village office, police department, and 3 mats.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Tolman,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Baylor,
Yes.
Sledge,
Yes.
Pelkey,
Yes.
Bullock.
Yes, motion carried. Up and coming agenda items, council have any?
I'm gonna put the arsenic containment feasibility study, I'm gonna bring that up to council at the next meeting.
And what's that called, the arsenic what?
Arsenic containment feasibility study.
And I'm gonna have a couple of purchases for the, down at the sewer plant, the oven, and I think we've got a meter that for checking the flow at the fair. And, I'll get that put together for you.
The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Anything else?
It's not an agenda item, but the next concert in the park is Wednesday, just so everybody knows. We got our first one and it went well.
It did.
So, the doggies, more people.
It didn't rain, did it?
Nope. It did not. It was nice.
Yeah.
Actually got cool that way.
Well, all our nights have been really cool, I think, myself, or...
Well, let's just slide, Mike.
Okay, so next is citizen comments. Do you have anything, Kevin?
Actually, I was gonna make a quick statement. President Bullock, members of council, my name is Kevin Grant, I'm a resident. I'd like to thank everyone for their vote tonight. It's definitely appreciated. And on an unrelated topic, Mr. Coney was mentioning something earlier regarding the state having unfunded mandates on the village, and I respectfully remind the council, the Michigan Constitution is very clear on this issue under Article 9, Section 25. So unless someone wants to argue that the Michigan Constitution is somehow unconstitutional, I would recommend advising to seek out our elected officials, and if there's any items that we are being mandated to purchase or to acquire, that we find out who the appropriate department in the state of Michigan is and submit a bill to them to have them reimburse us for those expenses. Thank you.
Thank you. Council comments at this time?
Michelle, can you give a quick status update on the effort with you, Jeff, Becky, Joe, to redefine spending process and limits?
You know, I have to talk to Jeff about that. We're going to have like a workshop prior to a meeting. I don't know if it'll be the one in July, it may be August, because I'd have to talk to Jeff to see if he can make it on that Monday, so.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right, so it's coming up.
It is. He's been working on it, but you know, I haven't gotten an update from him, so I will check in with him.
Okay, thanks.
And with that being said, we're beginning to increase what the commissioners were allowed to.
Yeah,
pay.
what we're looking to do in the workshop is kind of do a Council 101, you know, because a lot of us have been on here for a while and sometimes we forget the you know, the stuff. So we're gonna do a Council 101. We're gonna reevaluate the spending limit. And yes, we're looking at increasing it, but we're also looking at just defining when something has to come here and when it can go through on the schedule of bills. And when, you know, because I think sometimes that gets kind of foggy.
Yeah.
So it's just redefining it so everybody understands. You know, our intention was to do it as soon as after the election.
Right.
But then we had an open seat and then Chris came on, so now, you know, now's probably the time to do it.
Will it also include a little bit about when you can go direct to a company or when you have to compete?
Yes,
What the limits are?
yeah, oh yes, absolutely, yeah, all that's gonna be addressed. So that's all in an ordinance right now, it's just that ordinance needs to be
So,
clarified, I think it's not very clear.
Very good.
All right.
Okay. I'll let you guys know ahead of time because that'll be an early meeting, so.
Next is community events, any?
Concerts and-
Well, I misspoke on the Constitution part, sorry. I didn't see that in the.
The more times you say it, people will show up.
Right.
They're so great, that's the best thing we have here.
Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your dinner.
Bring your
Grab a
picnic.
pizza,
Yep,
it's a fun night.
yeah, it is, that's.
I'll bring the extra pair next month. You're all right, Mike. There's no closed session tonight. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
Time is 8:03. I move to adjourn.
Second.
By Dalton?
Yep.
Hey.
All in favor?
Aye.
I usually have